so I got the shield down. In my last video where I was talking about the Harley-Davidson Sportster, the Evo generation, not the Sportster S, I was saying that this is what this bike does well is city commuting, like in and out of traffic, just zipping in an urban environment. But the thing that I may not have mentioned, I may have mentioned it, but I want to touch on a little bit more in detail, is you can make this bike do other things just as well. So one of the best benefits of owning a Harley-Davidson Sportster Evo Edition is the amount of time these bikes have been created, how long they've been out. The aftermarket community for these bikes are humongous. So it gives you the option to make this bike your own. It gives you the ability to customize it and change up the way it feels, the way it rides, what it's going to be used for. And it's easy to do because there's so many different types of bolt-on parts. For instance, on my bike, which I'm going to give you a full walk around of it when I get to somewhere I can pull over, but I did things such as handlebars, a different seat, different foot pegs. I set it up for what I was going to be using it for. Now there's other people I've seen set their bikes up for touring, even though I said this isn't an ideal bike for touring. If you are like a smaller framed individual, you can throw some saddlebags on here and you can tour on this bike. You just have to get the right seat, get your foot pegs in the right position, get the right handlebars, get some wind protection. Now you're not going to be able to tour with the big baggers or the Softails or any of them, because of course they're going to have a larger engine and you're going to need to stop a lot more frequently. But one thing I like about the smaller tank is the fact that you do have to stop more frequently. I enjoy being able to stop, rest, stretch my legs, get to meet people, conversate with people, things like that. Versus if you're on a big touring bike, you'll be able to just do long hauls, and I feel like in the end you might be a little bit more sore. But again, I could be completely wrong. I'm sure there are some serious bagger bros out there that can tour all day long and they don't get sore at all, but I haven't experienced that. Again, I'm not a bagger bro, I don't got a bagger. But little backcountry roads like this that I'm on now, the Sporty is perfect for situations like this as well. As you can see, right now I'm doing like 60 miles per hour comfortably, which in a lot of cities, the highway speed is 60 miles per hour. And I'm not even in my 5th gear, I'm in my 4th gear. I still can pop it up another gear and, you know, I'm still cruising between 55, 60. So this bike can do 70, I'd say 70, 80 miles per hour with no problems. It's when you get into that 90 and 100 mile per hour range that you're stretching her a little bit. Now again, I've done upgrades and different things to my bike, such as this is not your standard 883. I have a 1250 Hammer Performance kit in here that I've had for quite some time now. If you'd like to see a follow-up review about the Hammer Performance motor upgrade that I have on mine, definitely comment down below. I'll make an updated video. If you haven't seen the previous video, I'll put a link to that video down in the description below so you can check that out about my Hammer Performance in case anyone's interested in that. But I will let you know that on my Sportster, I have done full days of riding on it and I haven't had any problems. I've been comfortable on it. The fact that it's so small and nimble and able to flick around, and you're not dealing with all that weight when you gotta like pull into a parking spot and back up or go somewhere, this, that, and the other, that's kind of a pro in my opinion. The Sportster is by no means, although a lot of people say it's a girl's bike, it's by no means a female's bike. It's by no means strictly a male's bike. It's by no means for newbies. It is what it is. It's like in a class of its own, and it's an excellent bike, man. Another thing is, I say this a lot, and comment down below if you feel the same way, or if you've witnessed the sound of this machine, or if you know how good a Sportster motorcycle sounds. Out of any motorcycle, I ain't even gonna say, well, maybe just Harley-Davidson's, because I do love the way my Ducati Monster sounds, but this is one of the top sounding motorcycles in my opinion. The way the motor just sounds, no matter what exhaust you put on this thing, besides the stock exhaust suck. But if you have any type of slip-on or aftermarket exhaust on here, you're going to get one hell of a sound out of this bike. It's got that whoop, 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 which, I mean, it just sounds good as hell. Even when you start ripping on it, it just sounds good. It goes from bloop, bloop, bloop to, depending on what exhaust you got, to brap. I'm gonna just let y'all hear it real quick. Listen to this. Oh my God, that sound. It's just beautiful. So we'll pull over up here at the park and I'll do a quick walk around and tell you everything I got on my bike. I feel like this is a good spot. It's not a spot that's allowed, but it's a good spot, I feel like. And I'm gonna put it under this tree because I like the way it looks right here. I'm not supposed to do this, but
Infinit Ryda.
So there you have it. That is my 2007 Harley-Davidson Sportster that has had quite a few mods. Like, what she used to look like when I first got her compared to this is a night and day difference. Night and day. So one thing I did to the bike is, because I wasn't that fond of the seating position that I was in when I first got it with the handlebars, I put some Lucky Dave San Diego bars on here, which definitely gave me a more comfortable seating position because I get to have my arms up a little bit and they're kind of relaxed a little bit as well. Other than that, I threw on a Saddleman step-up seat. And the seat, when you first get it, to be honest, when you first get this seat, it kind of sucks, or you'll think it sucks. It's kind of hard. It's not that comfortable. But now it's extremely comfortable, because once the memory foam and the saddle gel, you know, gets worked in or goes through its break-in period, it feels a lot better. It actually has some gripper material right there to hold you in place as well. It's not that comfortable for the passenger in the rear, and it does have a downside. Let me show you. So if you look at it from this angle, you see how narrow that seat is, but that's because it's built for the Sportster. How narrow it is makes it not as comfortable as it could be if it was a little bit wider. But I understand why they didn't make it too wide, because it may have hung over where you put the oil in your bike, and it could have messed up some of the functionality of the Sportster. Because as you can see, if you're looking from this angle, the Sportster has a very slim profile. So what else did I do to this bike? Memphis Shades hit me out of Memphis Shades gauntlet fairing, which looks amazing. I had a little bikini fairing on here previously. It didn't really do much. This fairing does help quite a bit with the wind as far as busting me in the chest, so it gives me the ability to ride a little bit longer, and it makes me feel a lot more comfortable while I'm out riding longer, especially at higher speeds. That wind's kind of flying up, hitting me in the head just a little bit and flying over my head, but that's because I'm a little bit taller. I also got a knockoff Daymaker in there that I got off Amazon. I was being cheap, but it works great. It's excellent light. It works great. Some of these items are listed down in the description of this video if they're still available. If not, the links may not be working, or the links may not be there. I also have a Arlen Ness, I believe that is the Monster Sucker. Yes, the Arlen Ness Monster Sucker air filter. I had the big sucker, but I wanted to upgrade to something a little bit different. That's going to give me a little bit more airflow, and it's mainly for style, aesthetic, or whatever. But the Monster Sucker helps to draw in a little bit more air. I also tuned the motorcycle because I have a Hammer Performance 1250 kit in here. The Hammer Performance, it basically comes with new jugs and new pistons for the engine upgrade, and it literally changed things night and day as far as how this thing rides, as far as how much torque it got. as, as far as how much torque it has, as far as how fast it accelerates. Then before this exhaust, I had a 2 in the 2 mini grenades made by Vance and Hines, and I switched over to the 2 in the 1. The 2 in the 1 feels like it just gave that throttle a lot more response. I don't know how it works or what the deal is, but 2 in the 1 exhausts are the way to go if you can find a style that you like of one. But 2 in the 1 exhausts are a lot better for the performance of the bike. Then I got Burley brand stiletto shocks. The stock shocks for the Sportster suck. Flat out. I don't know if they're better in newer years, but they suck. This shock is good. It's definitely comfortable. I don't feel a lot of the bumps in the road. It absorbs it. It helps if you put a passenger on the back, even though the Sportster is not ideal for riding 2-up. But if you do put a passenger on the back, that shock helps you out quite a bit because you're not going to be bottoming out, and your passenger will still have a decently as comfortable of a ride as they can on a Sportster. I mean, it's a damn Sportster. I also upgraded my foot pegs to some Kuriakins. You know, those are comfortable. It reduces a lot of the vibration I feel from the motor into my foot because it has those rubber pegs. I love those. And of course, I painted it myself, gave it a little unique look. But overall, those are the main upgrades I did to my Sportster. Of course, I did some LED lighting, such as in the blinkers, there's some LED lighting. I kind of want to switch those out because, like this one, I can't even swing it out because of the bolt I have on there. I might have to get a different bolt so I can swing that blinker out more, because right now it's kind of basically just behind the fairing. I don't like that. There's not too much more that I did to the bike besides that, but again, that changed the bike quite a bit. If you have any questions about anything else you see on the bike right now that I haven't mentioned, oh, I got a little bikini fairing down there, but that's just for style. But if you see anything else on here you have questions about, or if you have questions about how the bike rides, any questions you have whatsoever regarding the Sportster Evo, because for a very long time they're all the same, so it doesn't matter what year you're thinking about, I most likely can answer that question for you. Comment down below. Now, let me talk to y'all on a serious note real quick to end this video off. Do I feel like the Harley-Davidson Sportster, the Evo edition, not the 2022 Sportster S, do I feel like the original Sportsters are still a good bang for your buck and worth it? The answer to that is yes. I feel like the value on these bikes actually are going to go up, because there's so many people who want that original Sportster and that original Sportster sound because of the aftermarket community and what people have done with these. And these are like kind of the bikes that a lot of people, like those small framed custom cruisers and stuff like that, this is what this is their starting platform, the Harley-Davidson Sportster. And I feel like, just from the way things have been going with Harley-Davidson, I feel like this might be the last year that you'll be able to get a brand new Evolution motor, because I feel like they're kind of phasing that motor out. I could be completely wrong, but from what I'm seeing, there's only 2 models that still has the Evo motor in it. They cut the Sportster brand down to 2 models. They also said in that video that they dropped that this year they're going to reveal some more of the future Sportsters. The future Sportsters aren't going to have an Evolution motor in them. They're going to have a Revolution Max motor, maybe a smaller motor, but it's not going to be this motor, and you won't be able to get a Harley-Davidson that sounds like this. I mean, there's a ton of them on the pre-owned market, but if you're looking for a brand new one, this might be your last year to get one of those. So if you come across a deal on a Sportster and you're even thinking that you want a Sportster, I think you better pick that girl up, because yeah, that's my opinion. That's just my opinion. You know, you're gonna do what you do, just like I'm gonna do what I do. Like what I'm about to do right now is in this damn video, so I can go enjoy the rest of this ride.
got drove.